This is CBS.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. That old commercial still tells the story pretty well. His expanding steel blades whirling down the line, cutting out all obstacles. There's still no better way to clear a clogged sewer or drain. So the next time you have a problem, remember this, and remember the name.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, sewer service.
This is CBS News in New York. We have received word that a nuclear explosion was witnessed near the Syrian border with Israel today near the city of Damascus. A film crew captured the moments up to after the explosion. U.S. officers have denied the event took place, but from the evidence we've seen, it was a massive explosion. No reports of casualties as yet. We will keep you informed as soon as we hear more ourselves. This is Bob Sheffer for CBS News.
This is an NBC News special report. Live from the White House, President Reagan's news conference. Here is Tom Brokaw, NBC News, New York.
Good evening. President Reagan is scheduled to meet with reporters in the East Room of the White House momentarily, and he is expected tonight to talk about possible U.S. military reprisals against Libya. Today, President Reagan called Colonel Gaddafi a suspect in the recent wave of terrorist bombings. Now is the president.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Well, please. I have a brief statement here before taking your questions.
This is the emergency broadcast system. We interrupt the President's conference with this ongoing emergency from the Israeli border with Syria. Apparently, NATO has detected a nuclear explosion, and here you can see footage we just obtained from the field of the explosion. It's massive. We have no reports so far of casualties, but the Pentagon is supposed to inform the President of this ongoing situation shortly. We'll return to the President momentarily. As you can see, this was in an adjacent valley from the news crew's location, which most likely saved their lives from the blast. Ooh, the President is coming back on again. This is Brian Williams for NBC News in Washington. This is Brian Williams again from NBC News in Washington. We're having some audio problems with President Reagan's news conference at the White House briefing room. The Pentagon has advised all networks that President Reagan is shortly to be taken out of the White House to a secure location somewhere in Washington, but he will be leaving the White House shortly. Let's return now to the ongoing event near the Israeli border. We don't know who took responsibility for this action, but some sources from international media outlets in Europe are claiming a Rouge terrorist group called Hezbollah detonated a missile silo near Damascus in retaliation to a suicide bomber who killed several Christians and Jews on a tourist bus in Tel Aviv. We know very little about this group except it is a terrorist organization that has been functioning underground in Jerusalem for many years, this according to the BBC in London. Reports are constantly coming in by satellite. Please stand by as we obtain more information. Tom Brokaw will be back in just a few minutes. We are getting additional information from the Associated Press. They say this event was not an isolated attack but an ongoing and planned attack across all the Middle East. The Associated Press is saying they are receiving reports of other eyewitness accounts of sightings near Jordan and Israel, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. We can't confirm these reports at this time, but we'll hear more from Tom Brokaw shortly. Is there any other information? Okay, let's return to Tom Brokaw in New York. Tom.
This is an NBC News special report. Live from the White House.
Go. I say go away. You bother me.